right, I want to walk you through my pre-workout meal and all the supplements that I put into it. I don't take an all-in-one pre-workout. I put in all the supplements individually so that I can make sure I'm getting the correct dosing and I can tell which actual individual ingredient is doing what. So first off, I'm starting off with cream of rice, 40 grams, and then just under a cup of water. So that goes in, you just cook that in the microwave according to the instructions. So then while I'm cooking that, I start putting the supplements together. So first off, I'm doing 5 grams of creatine. I use a lot of Nutricost supplements, but creatine for muscle building. Also do beta alanine. I do 2 scoops of that, which is 3.5 grams. And that's going to give you a boost in your strength at higher reps. I do a couple supplements for a pump. I do L-Citrulline, which is a vasodilator, and I just do 1 scoop of that, which 1 scoop, 3 grams. And then I'm going to do Glycerol Monostearate. That's also for pump. I do half a teaspoon of that. You got to be careful with one because if you take too much of this, it'll upset your stomach. So probably start with a 1/4 teaspoon and work your way up and see how you feel on that. Also for a pump, salt. Do a 1/8 teaspoon of salt in this meal. And sodium's probably the most important ingredient for a pump. So if you just want to take one thing, really easy and cheap because you probably already have salt. I add glutamine to my pre-workout. I just take a lot of glutamine. I like the gut health benefits and the immune health benefits. I don't think it has any benefit for muscle building. And then I do a 1.5 scoops of whey right now. That's going to change. For myself, that changes like during contest prep or off season. Eat a little bit more during the off season, but I like Dymatize Iso-100. It's a really good isolated, or really good, isolate for whey. And then I just put a little bit of cinnamon just for the flavor. So that's it for the supplements. And then I'm going to cook up the cream of rice and then mix everything in. All right, so we got the cream of rice all cooked up. And one thing to note, if you're mixing in whey with something hot like this, the texture can turn gritty. So if that's the kind of whey that you're using, one thing you can do, you can just let it cool down and then mix it in. But what I'm going to do, since I'm using frozen fruit here, I'm going to put the fruit in first, mix it up. That'll cool it down a little bit, and then I can mix the whey in, and I won't get that texture change to it. So I'm putting in, it's going to be 100 grams total of fruit, about half bananas, and then half blueberries. So we'll get 100 grams here, pretty close. I'm not going to cut a blueberry in half. So get that in there, mix this up, and just cool it down a little bit. And now that it's cool, we'll mix all the powders. So depending on what type of protein powder you're using, it's going to have a different thickness. So whey is really thin and it's going to come out a little bit watery. If you're using casein, it's going to be really thick. So you might want to adjust your water levels based on the kind of protein that you're using. And so you're going to see here, this is coming out. This is like soup. And I don't really want to eat soup for breakfast here. So I'm just going to put this in for another minute in the microwave. And it's just going to thicken up the edges a little bit. And then we'll mix it back in. So I'm going to put it back in there. All right, so here we go. I put it in for another minute and the edges are starting to harden up here. So still liquidy in the middle. So once I just stir this together, it'll be more like a stew than a soup. And that's good enough for me. So that's it for the meal. You'll notice that since I'm not taking an all-in-one pre-workout, there's no stims in this anywhere. And I just have coffee. That's what I do for my stimulants. I like coffee personally, so I just drink that. If you don't like coffee, you can just buy caffeine pills and that works. They're easy and cheap. I just recommend, so the caffeine pills are dosed usually in 200 milligrams, which is quite a bit if you're not used to that. I think coffee is usually around 70 grams a cup, something, or 70 milligrams a cup. So I've heard on the internet conflicting information about how much caffeine is in coffee. I've heard there's 200 milligrams in there, but if you take a caffeine pill and you're used to drinking coffee, you're going to find out really quick that there's not 200 milligrams in coffee. So if you try a caffeine pill, I recommend splitting it up, taking a half or a quarter, just so you don't get too jittery. But that's it for the meal. So you can try this out, see if you like it, and let me know in the comments what you think. And we'll see you in the next video.